Hello, my name is Sharon Neubauer. I am an ERYT 500 yoga instructor, and I'm the owner of Opus Yoga in the Kentlands area of Gaithersburg, Maryland. We'd love to see you sometime if you want to come on by. You can check us out at opusyogakentlands.com, KENTLANDS.com. We're going to do a short class called Slow and Steady, where we work on strengthening and activating some muscles we don't use enough and trying to relax and stretch other muscles that we use too much. I give a fair amount of instruction for each of the poses that we're going to do. Please don't feel, especially if you're newer to the practice, that you're doing it wrong if you don't get them all. Yoga is a lifelong practice, and it takes some time for your body to incorporate all of the instructions, and some of them even sound contradictory. So just enjoy the journey and comment if you have any questions. Thanks. Let's get started. So we're going to start having a seat and paying attention to the breath. When you sit, try to have your hips just above your knees. You can sit up higher if your knees are up higher, but it'll put strain on your back if your knees are up too high. So sit nice and tall. Imagine you have a puppet string pulling you up through the crown of the head so that you can relax your shoulders. They don't need to hoist you up. So close your eyes and tune into the rhythm of the breath. The breath is your main teacher, so you want to make sure that you can tune into that, and you can always tune out some instructions so that you can hear the breath and feel the breath. So as you breathe, you want to visualize the breath moving toward the back of the body as well as the front. So if it helps, you can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your back. Invite the breath into the space between the hands. Relax your jaw. Relax the eyes, the tongue. So you open up the passageway for the breath. Switch the cross of your hands. And don't feel that you need to push the breath to the space between the hands. Rather, if you simply invite it, it will move with you. Listening to the rhythm of the breath. And after your next exhalation, bring the palms together to the heart. And we begin by setting an intention to strengthen the inner body, the center of the body, from the feet all the way up through the crown of the head. And to relax and be more open, more flexible, and more free in the outer body, down the shoulders, the outsides of the hips and the legs. And we just take a moment bowing the head to the heart. So both the head and the heart are aware of that intention. And we exhale, lower the hands, lift the head, and slowly open the eyes. Good. So we're going to do a few poses here. We have a few props that are handy. A strap. If you don't have a strap, you could use a scarf or a towel or something like that. A block, that's kind of a hard one to get around. The block is really handy. And I'm using a sandbag here. If you don't have a sandbag, then you can use like a table leg or a chair leg or a couch leg or something like that. The idea is that we're hugging the leg into the sandbag, into that support. So that will help to activate the muscles on the inside of the leg. So let's begin. So we're going to lie down and place the sandbag in the middle and have your strap handy. So lie down on the ground, take a breath, and just settle into gravity. And then when you inhale, bring your feet up to attention. Breathe in, press your left leg into the sandbag. And when you exhale, take your right knee in toward the chest. So you feel the muscles on the inside of your left leg engage, and you feel a stretch on the back of the right leg there, right at the top. So we'll take a few breaths here. Relaxing the shoulders. And if you can't reach your leg quite that far, you can grab it here. Then we'll take the strap and bring the strap around the ball of the right foot, stretching the top of the right thigh straight ahead. When we inhale, hug that left leg in toward the sandbag and feel the strength of the inner leg. Pull the tailbone toward that left foot. And when you exhale, stretch the top of the right leg straight out toward the left foot. And breathe. Try to hold the strap in such a way that you relax your shoulders. It doesn't matter how high up the leg is, just looking for the leg to be straight but not locked. Relax your jaw and breathe. Then we'll take the strap into the right hand. Breathe in. Exhale, take the right leg out to the right, but you don't want to roll onto the right side. So when you inhale, hug your left leg into the strap, which becomes harder than stretching the right leg. And again, keep pressing the top of the right thigh toward that left foot. Relax your jaw. Try to relax at the tops of the shoulders and breathe. Inhale, take the right leg back up toward the sky. Hold the strap now with your left hand. Take your right thumb to this crease at the top of the thigh. You're going to press the right thigh forward as you take your right leg over to the left. Inhale, hug that left leg in toward the sandbag. And exhale, press the right thigh forward as you bring your leg to the left. You probably don't have to go very far, probably just a couple of inches, till you feel a stretch on the outside of the leg and the hip. Breathe into it. Relax your shoulders. I often notice that people's facial expression changes during this pose. So we'll inhale, take the leg back up, and exhale, lower the leg down. Take a nice deep breath and let go. Notice the difference in the two sides of the body. And on your next inhalation, bring your feet again up to attention. This time we're pressing the right leg in toward the sandbag. And when you exhale, bring your left knee in toward the chest. Give it a hug. Relax your shoulders. Relax the jaw. Breathe. Take your strap around the ball of the left foot. Raise the left leg into the air. When you inhale, press your right leg in toward the sandbag. And when you exhale, press your left thigh out toward your right foot. So you straighten your leg. Your leg could be down here if your hamstrings are tighter. That's okay. So wherever the stretch is for you, that's where you go. Breathing here. Then take your strap into the left hand. Inhale, hug in and feel the inner right thigh become strong. Exhale, bring that left leg out to the left, wherever it goes. Keep pressing that left thigh out toward in the same direction as your right foot. And keep that right leg hugging in so it's nice and strong. That will prevent you from rolling over to the left side. Keep breathing. Trying to relax the jaw, relax the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, hug into the sandbag on the right foot. Come back up. Take the strap into your right hand. Take your left thumb to this crease at the top of your thigh. Press that left thigh straight ahead as you take your left leg over to the right just a few inches. Notice if the jaw tightens or if your breath tightens. For a lot of people, this part of the body is hard to stretch. So this pose can be pretty challenging. Relaxing the jaw and keep breathing. Hug into the sandbag as you inhale, come back up. And exhale, release. Take a nice deep breath. All right, so now we are going to roll to the right and come up to sitting. And we're going to, we don't need the strap anymore, and we don't need the sandbag anymore. So we do need the block. So we're going to make our way up to standing. And we're going to take the block right between the upper inner thighs. It looks and feels a little goofy, but that's okay because we're engaging the inner legs all the way up from the arches of the feet all the way up so that the muscles in the legs then connect to the muscles in the core of the body. So sometimes I say like you're putting on your energy stockings as you try to, without your hands, you try to draw the block in and up. And then you pull the tailbone down slightly so that you feel the low belly lift up, and that's like your control top. So when you have that stability in the legs and in the core of the body, you're much more free to stretch the outer edges of the body. So we'll inhale and come up, open the elbows and clasp your hands, breathe in. Exhale, give the belly a squeeze, pressing the breath out as you lean to your right. When you lean your upper body to the right, shift some of your weight towards your left foot, but you're still hugging that block, like your legs are trying to draw that block in and up. Relax the very tops of the shoulders. You can even turn your head to find a place where your breath is connecting toward the back of the throat. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, give the belly a little squeeze as you press the breath out, leaning to the left. Your upper body goes to the left. If you'd like, you can shift some weight toward your right foot. It's a little harder to do with the block in place, but even as you stay here, you're trying to breathe toward the back of the throat, toward the back of the body. So the belly stays strong, but you do have to keep breathing. Inhale, press down to come up, and exhale, release. Good. All right, let's do chair pose. It's often translated as chair pose, but Utkatasana actually means fierce pose, so it can feel pretty fierce when you're in this pose. So we'll inhale, we'll take the hands straight up toward the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, stick your butt out behind you, and again, pull the tailbone down. You want to feel the low belly lift underneath you, so you have support from underneath you. And then from there, while the belly is strong, make sure you keep breathing. So you can adjust your head, relax. You can turn the pinkies in toward each other so there's some space around the neck. Breathe, lengthening the back of the neck. And inhale, press down to come up. Reaching up, if it feels nice, you can curl back just a bit, but hug that block nice and strong. Exhale, take the hands down and pause. Relax the jaw and simply feel the support of the legs here, but also in your paws, you're feeling all the movement going on underneath the skin. So we're going to do one more variation of the chair pose, and that is we're going to add a little twist. So we'll inhale, lift the hands up toward the sky. Exhale, bend the knees. Again, stick your bottom out behind you. Then pull the tailbone down. Sometimes it helps to think about engaging the muscles in the floor of the pelvis. Sometimes that helps to feel that action of the lower belly supporting you. Breathe in. And when you exhale, again, give the belly a little squeeze and wrap your arms around you. You take your left hand to the outside of the right leg, twisting to the right. When you exhale, if you wanted to go further here, you would bend your knees more, lean your upper body forward more, and sometimes you can get the elbow to the outside of the knee. It's pretty hard to do with that block in place, so we'll just stay here. Inhale, reach your hands back up. And when you exhale again, give your belly a squeeze. You're pressing the breath out actively as you twist to the left. You inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to twist. So you're following the breath each and every step along the way. The body responds to the inhalation by growing and to the exhalation by contracting. When we inhale, come back up, reach to the sky. Exhale, take the hands down to your sides, and you can remove the block. And notice when you remove the block, it's going to feel much better. So stand tall and just feel, but also notice that if you were to try to, if you stand without thinking about it, very often our weight rolls inward. So that when we have that block there, we don't allow our weight to roll inward, that we own the space that the body takes up. So now we're going to do just a couple of our standing poses. We're going to inhale, stand tall. Exhale, take the feet wide. Turn your left toes in just a little bit and turn your right leg out 90 degrees. And you're going to line up your right heel and your left arch. So that's the basic standing position for Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. So when you inhale, grow nice and tall, raise your arms. And when you exhale, bend your right knee. Imagine someone's pulling your left fingers over to the left. So you can tuck the chin and turn to look toward over the right fingers. So that's the basic form of the pose. Now when we do that, oftentimes our weight rolls inward, just like I was saying when we were in mountain pose. So to do that, we're going to try to keep these inner thighs nice and active. So when you inhale, hug the legs in toward each other, and as you draw the tailbone down again, you're trying to connect that strength all the way from the inner edges of the legs all the way up into the belly. And that gives you much more support to raise your arms so that right here, the shoulders can relax. So then we tuck the chin and turn to look toward the back of, or toward the, over the right fingertips. So we breathe here, relax the jaw. So we think that we're lifting all the way up through the center of the body, relaxing the shoulder blades down. Feel your weight down into the outer heels, relaxing down the outer part of the body. Inhale to come back up. You can rest your hands if you'd like while you switch sides. Turn your right toe slightly in and turn your left leg out 90 degrees. So on your inhalation, again, you want to find and activate from the arches of the feet all the way up the legs. Hug in, growing nice and tall as you inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bend that left knee. Try to keep your upper body nice and centered. So in other words, don't lean to the left. So So again, inhale, like you're drawing the inner legs in and up. You pull the lower belly in or engage the muscles in the floor of the pelvis to help you find that control top, and turn to look over your left fingertips. And the challenge is to keep that engagement of the legs and the belly and to keep breathing. So we want not just strength, but we also want to be adaptable to this breath that is always moving through us. So you breathe here. Keep the jaw soft. Try to relax the very tops of the shoulders. Get some weight down into the outer edges of the feet. And inhale to come back up. Turn your feet straight ahead. You can go heels in, toes in, or if you want, you can jump your feet back and pause and feel what the effects of that pose were. So hopefully feels good. And you can get this image again as you stand in mountain pose that you're feeling strong and steady like a shining pillar up through the center of the body. And that means that the shoulders, which tend to overexert, and the outer hips and the outer legs, they can just release downward. So enjoy the pause. That was a warrior 2. And the next one we'll do is Virabhadrasana 1, a warrior 1. So it has a different foot position. We'll start by turning and coming toward one end of your mat. And let's take the left leg back first for this one. So different starting position here. Your back toes, my left toes, are facing the front left corner of the mat. But the idea is the same, that we want to lift up through the inner body and relax down through the outer body. So when you inhale, I'm going to pull the legs isometrically toward each other, draw the inner thighs in and up, then bend the front knee. Again, the tailbone draws down so the low belly lifts, and then the arms can come up from there. And you breathe, relaxing the jaw. If you feel like you want to add one more little detail, you can add in that piece that we did earlier where you breathe in. When you exhale, your belly's pressing the breath out as you lean over toward the right. So getting a nice stretch along the left side of the body. Take a couple of breaths here. You want to breathe toward the back of the body. Exhale, find some weight down into your heels. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, release, lean forward, and step forward. Standing tall, inhale. Exhale, take your right leg back. So the back toes face the front right corner of the mat. And you can pause here. Take a breath, relax. So you start from a nice relaxed place. When you inhale, you engage up the inner edges of the legs again. Isometrically hug the legs toward each other and draw the inner thighs all the way from the arches of the feet, actually, drawing in and up. Then the tailbone draws down to lift the lower belly, keeping you nice and supported. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. And of course, breathe. You can stay right here. Or if you wanted to add that one more little detail, you can keep your elbows nice and open so there's room for your neck. Breathe in. And when you exhale, give your belly a squeeze. Lean to the left. So the inhalation toward the back of the body. When you exhale, find some weight down into the bones of your feet. Getting a nice stretch all along here. The more the belly presses the breath out, the more you might also be able to move some of the stretch into the lower back. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, release the hands. Step forward And enjoy your mountain pose here. Pause, feel the effects of the pose. It's a very uplifting and celebratory pose, so it should feel pretty good. All right, so we have 2 more standing poses, and then we're going to make our way back toward the ground. Actually, I don't know that I would call these standing poses. First is a forward fold, and the next one is downward facing dog. So we're going to use this block again, and these poses can be done the way I'm about to do them, but if you wanted to do them more gently, you can take your hands onto a wall behind you, a wall like this, or onto a chair, so that you're not bending quite as far. So we'll take the block again between the inner thighs. I'm going to stand toward the front of the mat and hug the block. Inhale, stand tall. I'm going to take the hands to the legs. The hands press back, and you can see that I tend to lock my knees. So I'm going to push my legs toward my hands, so I unlock the knees. And the spine stays nice and long as I slide down. So you come as far as you can where your sitting bones are lifting up. And when you can't come any further, just rest your head. So again, you can make this gentler by taking your hands onto a chair or onto a wall. Or if you want, you can come all the way forward. But whatever you're doing, you hug the block and you try to draw the inner thighs in and up, which teaches you that when we bend forward, it comes from this place deep inside the hips and the pelvis. So you come forward, then we'll take the hands down. You can bend your knees for that. And walk the feet back into downward facing dog. And once again, the more I hug the block and try to lift the block up, the more I shift some weight back toward the legs to get lots of length in the spine. If your hamstrings are tight, please feel free to bend your knees and get the stretch first from your fingers all the way back through the sitting bones. Breathe here. And then when you're ready, you can bend your knees down to the ground, release your block, and pause in child's pose. Catch up with the breath. On your next inhalation, come up. And let's do one more thing with the block. So we're going to take the block between the thighs, the hands to the hips, and we're going to do Ustrasana or camel pose. So I like to curl the toes under for this one. And you can start with your thumbs right here at the sacroiliac joints. So when you inhale, hug the block and try to draw it up. Draw the shoulders back, keep the chin toward the chest. And you can make it nice and simple like this. Your thumbs can help keep that lower spine nice and long, especially if your back tends to give you problems. So you can stay right here. You can have a couple of blocks for your hands. You can even have a chair for your arms, for your hands, or for your elbows. Or if you want, you can take your hands back toward your heels here. And the harder version would be to uncurl the toes and take your hands back toward the heels here. So we'll hold that. I'm going to hold it right here. Again, you're trying to draw that block in and up when it wants to go forward and out. So keep breathing. Breathing and keeping the chin in will help the breath be more full. Inhale to come up, and we'll release the block. And now we're going to lie down again on our backs. So after that back bend, feel free to just rock side to side. Give your low back a little massage. And if you take your hands onto your knees, you can make a little circle around the sacrum in each direction. And then we'll bring the feet down. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Inhale, bring that left knee towards you. Hold the back of the thigh. If you have trouble reaching that leg, you can take a strap through the legs, or for some people, it's best to just keep that foot on the floor and you might get enough stretch right here. So, or maybe bring that left foot up onto a block would be another way. So if you're able, you can hold the leg in. You're breathing into a stretch in your right hip. Relax your shoulders, relax the jaw, and let the breath move smoothly. So mostly we need to just get out of the way of the breath. So we uncover the stretch with the breath. If we're not breathing fully, then we don't uncover enough. And we exhale and release, uncross. Notice the difference in the two sides. And then cross the left ankle over the right knee. Breathe in. And when you exhale, take that right knee in, hold the back of the right thigh, but relax your shoulders. So if you can't relax your shoulders while you grab your leg, then please feel free to hold a strap. So it's not, you don't have to bring your legs in quite so far. Keep breathing. Maybe even smile, because that will help your breath be more full. And exhale, release. Uncross. So let's do one more twist, one more pose before we lie down. For the twist, let's grab the block, take it in the middle, the narrowest setting here. And we're going to move the hips over to the right first. Inhale, bring the knees up. And exhale, lower the knees to the left. Now, if you hover here and you keep trying to pull the rib cage toward the ground, that's a good strengthener for your inner body. But for now, we're actually going to do this and just let the legs go, so it's a nice twist and a stretch for all the many small braided muscles that go along the spine. So you relax the jaw, you try to relax your shoulders. Breathing. Inhale, look to the sky, bring the knees back up. Exhale, lower the feet, shift the hips over to the left. Inhale, hugging the block, bring the knees up. And exhale, lower the knees to the right. So if your muscles just get really tight along the spine, then you don't even really need to use the block necessarily. You just can let go into the pose. If your joints tend to be very mobile, then holding the block is a nice way to keep everything in place. So you may need that stability in order to twist. Try to relax the shoulders, relax the breath. And we look to the sky. Inhale, bring the knees up, lower the feet, exhale, remove the block, shift your hips to center. Press your elbows down and get the spine nice and long. Stretch the legs straight ahead. And we release into Shavasana. And we did a lot of work drawing our energy up from the floor, so now we're letting go from the top down. So you relax inside the eyes, inside the ears. You let go of all the sensory organs. Let go of the jaw and the palate, the tongue and the throat. Softening all around the forehead and the temples, the crown of the head. Let go of the cheeks and the neck, softening across the shoulders and all the way down through the arms, hands, and fingers. Relax around the chest, the rib cage, softening around the belly and the back so the breath moves freely and sweetly. Let go through the hips and the buttocks and release all the way down through the legs, feet, and toes. Let the breath become quiet as you release into the earth and be refreshed by the breath. You can hold this for as short or long a time as you wish. And when you're ready to come up, you start to deepen your breath. You wiggle the fingers and the toes. You bend the knees. We'll roll to the right and inhale, come up to sitting. Bring the palms together to the heart. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.